Welcome back to the Clutch Committee, or as it's more commonly known around these parts, the Third Pedal Podcast. That was the nickname I thought of. I'm Jacob.
I'm Chloe.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. This week, we are back to... It's good.
Okay.
It's picking you up just fine.
Sorry.
Podcast rookie over here.
Sorry.
This week, we're back to talking about kind of relatively normal content that we would normally cover on the show. Honestly, stuff that I've wanted to talk about for a very, very long time since it came out. I don't know that you know anything about the two things I'm going to bring up.
Probably not. I have only 2 brain cells.
Just rubbing them together.
Revving them together, actually.
You do. That's funny. You do have something you're going to bring to us at the end of the episode.
I have a couple stories.
Story time, baby. But we're going to kick it off. So, have you ever heard of Project Midnight? This is
Sounds
a
sexy.
Subaru topic for you. It's a cooler Subaru than both of ours. So, Subaru.
Most Subarus are cooler than my Subaru.
That's not true. This year, so there's a thing. Have you heard of the Goodwood Festival of Speed? Oh, dude, we're starting at the beginning. This is good because a lot of people maybe haven't heard of it. So it's good that you have it. So,
Sounds
Goodwood.
inappropriate. Anyways.
Clean it up, dude. The Goodwood Festival of Speed. So this is at a palace. I'm going to butcher all the stuff. Maybe I should just Google it real quick.
We love a Google search.
Okay.
Ooh, what is going on today?
No one cares. Not a now thing. Okay, Goodwood Festival of Speed. It's an annual motorsports festival that happens at, it's Goodwood House. That's where it gets its name. In West Sussex, England.
Ooh.
So
we love an international adventure.
A fancy palace. That's a terrible picture of it. It's basically this really fancy place, and they have a really long driveway leading up to it.
Ooh.
And so they host an annual event, and it's a hill climb event. So they put these, you can see these hay bales around.
Okay.
And they do a start and a finish, and then people race up to the house. So they host this whole thing. So people fly from all over the world. Manufacturers participate, which is really cool. So you have everything comes and participates at this event. Goodwood Festival of Speed. You've got a whole bunch of different challenges. There's a soapbox challenge. I wasn't aware of that. But then a lot of experimental stuff comes here. So people have brought drift cars here and done crazy stuff. Ken Block, rest in peace, has done this event with he brought the unicorn there, did a whole bunch of different stuff. So this year, Subaru did something really special. They unveiled this thing called Project Midnight. And on social media, they kept teasing bits and pieces of photos of this car. So I'll show you a photo of it now.
Okay, I'll close my eyes.
Okay, so I can cue it up.
Yep.
All right, I'm ready. This is Project Midnight. So this is a all black carbon fiber version of the WRX.
Dude.
It's wide bodied. It's got huge intakes everywhere. The name was Speed on the side, which is funny because the driver's name was Scott Speed.
His last name was Speed?
His last name was Speed.
Born to race.
Right? And guess what his nickname was?
Speedy.
Toenail.
Toenail? That makes absolutely no sense.
I'll explain why in a minute. So
we didn't see this. It looks a lot like a car we saw at Grid Life.
It is definitely not a car we saw at Grid Life. I wish it was.
But it looks like a lot.
So this is based on the newest WRX platform.
I want to zoom into the photo.
So what they did, and I actually didn't realize this, it drew inspiration from this car, which is called Air Slayer. So that was the last, in 2020, they did a Gymkhana event, and this thing jumped 230 feet, and it has an active wing in the back that helped it guide through the air. It jumped over a speedboat that was going over the water.
Was the wing moving? You mean the spoiler?
The spoiler was moving to help it not.
Mechanically?
Yeah.
Like an airplane?
How would it not be mechanically?
Well, maybe it was wiggling.
He's in there with wires.
No, I mean maybe it was wiggling per wind speed. It was automatic pushing, the wind was pushing it.
I wasn't
it was
but
you
passive,
said an
active.
Airplane, so I understand it's mechanical.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was asking a question. Don't make fun of me.
You're good. So so this car was the next iteration of that car was designed to let's be crazy, tons of horsepower, all this other stuff. This car here, the Gymkhana car. So then this year they're how could we, instead of making the best all around car, Gymkhana car, let's make a tarmac car. So let's make the fastest car. So their goal was to be the fastest up the hill at Goodwood.
Ooh.
So some of the specs on the car, this thing had 670 horsepower out of the same type of engine that both our Subarus have, boxer engine still, which is cool. Same power platform. It's the most powerful WRX ever built from the factory, according to them. It was also one of the lightest. This thing only weighed 2,400 pounds, which as a reference point, my black WRX out there weighs 3,000 pounds. So it was lighter weight than that. It was 1,000 pounds lighter than the current WRXs that are out there.
Hashtag weight reduction.
Hashtag it was a skinny girly.
She's
but she was thick because she had huge wide body flares. So that was our whole goal, was to go with. They went and they brought I forget the name of it. I think it's called the Huckster. It's this thing.
Yeah.
It's Travis Pastrana's wagon.
Okay.
What did I do? Subaru Huckster wagon. I think that's how it'll come up. This thing is a whole crazy beast in itself because this also has active aero.
Ooh, that looks like that one that we saw.
It does look like the one we saw, the drift car.
Yeah, the purple one.
So this thing, all its fender flares and its wing in the back are all active too. So when this one jumps and when it brakes,
literally an airplane.
It all pops up. Yeah, literally. So
it's a wheel airplane.
So they brought both of these and they raced them back to back up the hill.
Oh, cute.
So it was super cool. They actually pulled off second for the day. They were the fastest for the whole day until an electric truck from Ford came and beat it. So they pulled off second, and
that should be illegal.
And they were the fastest gas car at Goodwood Festival of Speed. So I think that's worth something because electric is a whole different game.
This is the truck.
It was
so lame.
It's like, have you seen the videos where they're like,
we were the fastest? Yeah, but you're also the lamest.
Also the quietest. So that was disappointing for it. But fastest gas car of the day, which is pretty sweet. Pulled off a great race, and it was piloted by Mr. Scott Speed, aka Toenail, which I thought was hilarious. So I looked that up because I was like, what even the heck is that all about? So Scott Speed, rad dude, he's raced in like a ton of different circuits. So like he was in F1 for a little bit. He raced IndyCar. He raced NASCAR. He did all this stuff. And so apparently, let's see, he won his first NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, which was only his 6th series start. So like his 6th race in NASCAR. Mm-hmm. He won it. And he won the race after he had his toenails painted blue. So then he was like, oh, so he's like, that's going to become a tradition, he said.
My toenails are blue right now.
And he said he thought he would have better foot throttle control. That's what let him pull away from everybody else in the end. So
his toenails were painted?
Yep. So that became his thing. He paints his toenails and he's like, yeah, it's because then I have better control on the track. So he's been nicknamed Toenail, which is awesome. And it's working for something because the dude with the last name Speed and painted toenails, no one can stand between him and victory. So that's pretty cool.
That's crazy.
So this was a creation it was Subaru Motorsports, and then Vermont Sports Car like helps them build all their rally cars and stuff that they compete with. But
that's so cool.
But yeah, super neat. So the whole thing,
it's a beautiful car.
Carbon tub. Yeah, it looks awesome. Subaru Project Midnight. What do you think? What are your takeaways from Project Midnight and the Goodwood Festival of Speed?
It's pretty.
Do you want to watch its run up the Goodwood Festival of Speed?
I would love to.
Okay.
I would really enjoy that.
All right, ready?
I'm ready.
It looks menacing.
Oh my gosh, it's so pointy.
It's so sharp.
Its wheels have its fender flares are spoilers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great way to describe it.
Oh my gosh, the intake?
Yeah.
What is that for?
The radiator in the back.
Oh my gosh.
It's so cool. And then that's
I need
this one. Look at that.
Oh my gosh. That looks like a mouse.
It looks so violent. Look at the spoiler.
Oh my gosh. I can't get over the little wheel spoilers.
Yes. Oh, it's so cool looking. Yeah, I think this is going to be so they do this, it looks like, to warm up the tires to get to the start line.
Right. And test their suspensions.
Oh yeah, hood exit exhaust too. Yeah.
It looks so mean.
It looks so mean.
Looks like a black cat.
I'm pretty fond of my black WRX, but I think this one takes the cake.
What's he doing? Oh, they're getting to the front. I get it.
Yeah. They're gridding up.
Is that a Porsche?
Yes, that one over there was. Good eye. This is a little turnaround area. He's not going to light it up, though. He's trying to keep the tires nice.
How does he get in? Oh, there's doors.
Climbs in through the scoop on the side.
Wow, that looks amazing. Time to go fast.
All right, we're going to skip to...
My favorite part was when it burped black exhaust.
Oh, yeah. It'll do more of that. Yeah, so cool. I guess, too, they had a whole battle within Subaru that they wanted to do the Subaru logo on the side in yellow like they always do. They wanted to do that. And they talked him into, there was a whole team that fought. It was like, no, this is going to get plenty of recognition. Make it all black. So if you notice, like Yokohama, like all the stickers and everything are all blacked out on the car. I guess that was a battle somebody won. And I'm proud of them for fighting for it because it's beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah, it looks dope.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
That was a beautiful wastegate.
Oh, that guy just got blasted. That guy doesn't have eyebrows anymore.
It's
Flames
so loud.
just came out. Flames.
Jeez.
It sounds like someone's shooting a legitimate gun. They're like, pop, pop.
It's being America over here.
Except Subaru's not American.
Oh, it's so cool.
Whoa. How fast, I wonder? It looks like a
Oh,
cat.
that must have been a practice run.
Flames.
Oh, that's a different angle. Jeez. Look at the chin spoiler. It's so low to the ground. It's funny because from the front it looks low to the ground, and then from the back it looks like it's all raised up.
It does. I wonder if most of the weight is in the front. That's why.
Could be. I'm sure it's stanced that way too.
I love it.
That's awesome.
The way it's moving makes it seem like the video is sped up.
Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not though.
I
Which
know
actually,
it's not.
that's a great segue actually into the next thing I was going to talk about. Unless you want to do your bit now and then do mine at the end. How are you feeling? Do you want to listen a little longer, or do you want to participate now?
Let's do my thing at the end.
Okay, I'll segue into mine.
We should do all the stories at the end.
Okay, that's a good idea. Okay, so you said it seems like the video sped up, and like that's how the car is moving. It seems like the video sped up. This video was not sped up, but there was a video sped up to try to make an event seem cooler than it really was, because over in Abu Dhabi, they just had their first autonomous racing league race.
Oh yeah.
And the struggle was real. Did you see videos about this?
No, but I remember you telling me like AI was racing.
Oh yeah.
And they failed.
Yeah, that's all I said about it. So they had a bunch of, I don't know what, their Formula something car.
Is it autonomous as in like literally AI is driving, or someone just like remote controlling a full size car?
No, literally AI was driving. So there, if you see here, like there's no any, it's all just like a bunch of like computer and antenna and stuff like that. And so there was, I forget how many cars competed in it. I think it was 4. It's either 4 or 8. But it was, so over in Abu Dhabi, they've been working on this for forever because somebody thinks it's cool to watch robots do this, which it kind of reminds me of like if the BattleBots.
I'm sorry, you're not boring me. I'm just really tired. I'm so sorry. I really tried to breathe that one out too.
Dude, I've been there. If you go back and watch episodes, you can see my eyes get teary like all the time for the morning episodes we record. So they've been working on these cars for a while. They did it at the.
Wait. Okay, start over.
You can yawn during it. It's fine.
No, that was a big one.
Okay. So
You're like, why is she crying?
the first race.
Wow.
In the Abu Dhabi Autonomous Racing League, also known as the A2RL. It was at the Yas Marina Abu Dhabi Grand Prix Formula One track. And I like how this article is written. I'm pleased to report that the race both began and ended, but the event was not without strife. Far from it. So essentially, in a nutshell, no, wait, I gotta show you the things. So they launched this race, and it's these, I think, again, 4 or 8 cars. I can't find it in here. But they only had 8 laps that they had to do. Okay. 8 laps.
8 laps.
Took them an hour. Because
I could run faster than that.
They couldn't, the cars just kept having bugs and stuff. So like the cars kept randomly juking, nothing around, whoa. They kept doing that randomly.
Swerve.
Or they would spin. So yeah, this guy, it was just coming down the straight, coming right to a corner, and then it just locked up all 4s for no reason.
Whee!
Spun around. It looks like it was having fun. Or this one turned into walls. Ready?
Womp.
Womp. No more wheel.
Oh no.
Or just pulled off the track to take a little break.
Oh, he's tired. He's taking a little nap.
So there was just a lot of weird stuff that kept happening. There was one instance where this guy wrote it, which I thought was pretty funny. It's like when it came time for the actual race, the lead racer spun out on the 4th of 8 laps. The second car, Tum, passed it safely, but shortly after that, the event's officials threw up a yellow flag because one of the cars wiped out in the center, right?
Oh,
so they put a yellow flag and told the robots, hey, yellow flag. Okay.
Okay.
Since these are good AI drivers who obey the rules, the 2 behind, so it's 4. The 2 behind the crashed or the spun out car, unwilling to pass because you're not allowed to pass when it's yellow, stopped. So they just stopped in the thing. So, so then they had to go out and get the cars and bring them back to the pits and reset them and tell them to go out again. Then they did another little idle lap and then they got to do it again. So after about an hour, Oh, no, it's not even that. About an hour. Oh, no, it is. An hour after the first lap, the AI racers completed their 8-lap race. If you must know, Tom won, the one who passed, the one who was spun out. So they obviously speculate this is the early days of AI racing. This is really cool because everything, like a lot of popular things in cars today have come from racing. So like autonomous driving on the road will get improved by stuff like this long term. So a lot of times they test like this is like when they do the e-racing stuff, that's where a lot of the modern battery technology has come from. Different tire compounds.
It would be more cool if it was like battle bots and they started just like fighting.
Yeah,
and like stabbing each other like through their wheels, you know, like in cartoons. Like that's what it should really become. Is like
so down.
AI battle racing, and they like stick out their little snipes and they're like and it's like,
they like get each other's wheels and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I picked.
Like flamethrowers.
They drop like oil slicks and stuff like
oil
that.
Slicks, absolutely.
We need oil slicks in motorsports.
Oh my gosh, but that's how you could do it because like no one's gonna die, really.
That's true. Yeah,
they're backed up on the cloud, so like the AI is not even dying, probably.
The
AIs are people too. I really mean it. AIs deserve rights.
It did remind me of
AI.
It reminded me of BattleBots too. It reminded me of BattleBots. When I saw it, I was like, that it kind of reminds me of it. But those are all remote controls. This is weird because it's like they're just sending them out to go do their thing.
That's kind of cool though.
But yeah, kind of interesting. But of course, something in Abu Dhabi that they're working on.
Then in like 50 years, when our kids are gonna be like, oh my gosh, I bet on this person and they won, and it's so crazy, and we're like, oh, that's cool. Like, what's the racer's name? And they're like, oh, it's actually it's a robot. It's crazy.
It's actually 11213.
And I'm like, oh. You guys, guess what? People used to like actually die in those, and they'd be like, oh, that's illegal now.
I'd be like Dale Earnhardt. God rest his soul.
Again.
Oh my God. Lots of sadness in this episode.
Yeah.
Anytime we talk about that.
Anytime there's a past driver, gotta do a Hail Mary.
Well, speaking of past drivers, just kidding. That would be a terrible segue. But you do have some stories to tell us that may involve past drivers.
There is one, but they're not driving a car. Okay, so we have some Reddit stories to close out the sode.
Close out the sode.
So the first one is heartwarming and scary, and then the other one's spooky.
It's heartwarming and scary?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's like scary for the guy who was in it. So
you're like, I mean, I would be scared.
I'm really good at reading into my head, but like out loud, it's like not as good. So
give it the old college try. Otherwise, I can read them to you and you can laugh. I feel like your reactions are going to be funnier than mine.
I know, but I want to tell you the spooky, scary ones.
Yeah, because I won't read the spooky, scary one. I am not a spooky, scary person.
Jacob is so scared of ghosts.
It's true.
So scared.
We don't talk about him.
I'd say this one doesn't have a ghost. The next one does.
Okay.
Maybe. Dang it, I just ruined the story. Okay. Didn't think I'd ever get to tell this story. I was freshly 16. It was February, cold, and a fresh coat of winter chill covered the road. Beautiful riding.
We call that snow up in the north.
Winter chill. My truck, a 1987 manual Ford Ranger that I spent most of my 15th year rebuilding. Technically a Bronco too. She was tall and she was beautiful.
Nice.
My sister and I got dressed for school and I climbed in the truck. And after a bit of a warm up, she was ready to go. And I popped in my Disturbed CD. Disturbed is like a band, I think.
Okay.
Before hitting the road, I wanted to be safe, so I hit the 4-wheel drive button.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's slippery. For safety. Yeah. To my dismay, it didn't engage, but I could fix that tonight. So we took off.
I like the note. I like how this person writes these stories. I could do that tonight.
I could do that tonight. We took off. The truck slid a little bit, but I was able to recover, and then it happened. The rear started to slip. I tried to recover, but overcorrected as the truck began to spin more, and the that says real. It should say rear. And the rear wheel, which is very hard to say, the rear wheel finally caught grip at the edge of the road. The edge was no normal edge, though, and it led into a 20-foot steep slope, and the truck began to topple. Mm-hmm. Unable to do anything, I held my little sister in place.
Oh,
I know, right?
I did that with Zach when we flipped.
Oh my gosh, we need to tell that story. Okay, moving on.
I don't know if we've told that on here yet.
And you tell it so good too. This was no normal edge. and led to a 20-foot steep slope, and the truck began to topple. Unable to do anything, I held on to my little sister as the radio screamed, "She want me." And
wait. Do we know the song?
No.
Should we look it up so we get the vibe of what was going on here? Okay. Sorry, I had to get in the vibe of what was happening here. Okay, so that's on in the background.
So, "She want me." And the rolls were in slow motion as I see the fear on her face still to this day.
Oh.
I know, it's so sad, but he's such a good brother for holding her in place. That's adorable.
Do we know it's a
my
brother?
brother would have been like, "Give me your seatbelt too."
Unbuckling you mid-roll.
I was like, "Die." This is revenge. Once the truck finally stopped rolling, it was upside down in the snow and gas was leaking all over. My wrist was broken and hanging on by its skin. I know.
Been there too. No, just kidding. I said a tiny thumb pressure.
3 times. Using my other arm, I took a screwdriver and shattered the window. I went to the other side and cut my sister's seatbelt off and pulled her out.
Oh.
I know.
It sounds like a movie.
Her glasses shattered during the roll. We were safe.
Now it really is you.
Her with only what?
The sister with the glasses shattered. I can't say.
Literally. We were safe with only minor cuts, and I was just with a broken arm and a gash on my forehead. As we started walking up the embankment back to the icy road, the truck actually caught fire. It burned for a minute before igniting the tank and exploding.
She want me.
Parentheses. Not like a movie. Fairly small, just shooting shrapnel everywhere. And a piece of ceramic from the starter launched and lodged itself in my stomach.
Hey, guy, that's like a movie. Jeez. In his stomach?
We were only a quarter mile from our house and walked in and sat down. My dad took...
Wait.
Yeah, no 911.
So we walked home? Just...
Yeah. My dad took 45 minutes to get there.
Oh my gosh.
From when we called him. Or so I'm told. Because I woke up in the hospital the next day. I almost died. I'm assuming from the shrapnel in his stomach.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's story number 1.
Oh my gosh. But he made it.
He made it. And everyone was fine.
His little Ranger. His little Bronco too. Man, that's crazy.
No.
Were there any responses to it?
You know, that's a great question.
This one, right? I almost died. Just like that. I almost died. Shrapnel in the stomach is not a little thing. Thank you.
He said, yeah, it didn't hit any vitals, which was a blessing, but dang, I bleed a lot.
I bled a lot.
Bled a lot. Sorry,
yeah, dude.
Dyslexia.
I bet you did. Wow. Okay. That was crazy. That was super crazy. So I hear you have a second story for us.
I do. When I was 19, I was driving on a 2-lane road after work around 11 p.m. I wish we had some spooky music behind this.
Already out. We just turn off these lights. It's just the back lights, the spooky lights.
We're going to have to do even more spooky for Halloween spooky season.
We will have to do more spooky.
Okay.
More costumes.
No other cars. Oh, yes, costumes. Okay. No other cars on the road, and suddenly this guy in a red shirt on a bicycle swerved from the side of the road right in front of my car. I hit him.
Oh my god.
Felt the impact. And I was yelling, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God," over and over and over again. Got out of my car to see how badly he was hurt. Only I didn't see him. I couldn't find the guy. No bike, no red shirt, no dent in my car, no blood on my car. I searched the ditch with a flashlight. A couple people passed by while I was looking in the field for a body when a sheriff pulled up. I told him what happened, and he said I didn't hit anyone. Told me that 15 years earlier, a young man in a red shirt was hit by a car while riding his bike right there. He died instantly. Deputy told me that every couple years, someone driving through there believes they've hit a red shirted bike. I'd hit a ghost.
No.
And then he goes, edit, thanks for the award. Yes, this is a true story. It happened 40 years ago and it still creeps me out to this day. I don't like driving at night.
Oh, dude, I would be so out of there. I would be so out of there. You know I would.
I think you wouldn't believe it. I think you'd be like, ghosts aren't real.
That's what I would tell myself. And then I would go to sleep.
Ghosts aren't real. Do you remember that one time we were driving from the Capitol back to our house, and it was kind of by the outlet malls?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we were driving and there was a bunch of traffic, and then the car in front of us slammed on their brakes. And so we had to slam on our brakes, but we like veered over to the shoulder a little bit. And then, so here was main traffic back to back. And so we veered, the person in front of us slammed on their brakes. So we veered all the way to the side of the shoulder. So there was a very much just like one car length between main traffic and us, like on the shoulder, because it was a big shoulder. And that truck behind us just went whoom, right past us and like probably like a hair away from our mirror and the other car. Yeah. And then we were like, oh my God, 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 we almost died. And then we were like driving, and when we like got back, we like pulled up next to him and we're like, are you okay? And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
Yes. It's the mutual.
We're like, did you just poop your pants? Because I just pooped my pants.
Yes.
And then we just like kind of like left, like went on with our life. I think the skid marks from that are still there.
Probably. They probably are. That was terrifying.
I have another one where I had just dropped off my dog that I nanny, and I'm behind this box truck merging onto the highway, and I look off to the trees for a second because I'm like, oh my gosh, the sumac trees are in bloom, and I was like admiring the flowers, and then I look back and the truck is completely stopped almost on the highway. Like we're like halfway to the highway.
Oh my gosh.
On-ramp.
On the ramp?
Yeah. And I was in my Jeep. And so I was like, ah! And so I slammed on my brakes, but I don't have ABS in my Jeep because it's old and it was not a feature that was added. And so all my wheels locked up. And so I like go into the ditch on the left side a little bit. And the truck guy's like, what the frick to me? I'm like, you're stopped on the on-ramp. I looked away for 2 seconds. And then I was like, and then got back and I was like, I was just done. That skid mark is still there.
Is it?
Yeah, that's from me. It's just like one little wheel mark from where my wheels locked up. But I'm like, I could have literally just like crunched right into the back of the box truck. But
those
like,
moments are scary.
I still don't understand like why because then I looked at my rearview mirror and he was still like stopped. I was like, did you want me to die? Was I about to get kidnapped? Like, I don't know. It was crazy, but
so those are our stories. What I just learned is there's now a comment section in Spotify, which is kind of cool. And obviously there is on YouTube. So what we'd like you guys to do is tell us your stories. If you guys have a funny story, a scary story, preferably not spooky
story. If you send us spooky stories, we will share them during spooky season. If you share us romantic stories, we'll share them during Valentine's Day.
We'll share
Christmas stories during Christmas.
We'll share what we can get. But if like, you guys want to send either what were you going to say?
I was going to say an email would be better. Like if you want to type it out on an email, because then we can read it better. But if you could do it on comments, that's easier ways for the men to do.
It's a nice short story. Comment section on Spotify or YouTube, or you guys can email us thirdpedalpodcast@gmail.com. Send us your stories, whatever it is, funny story related to cars. We want to hear it. We want to tell it on the show. Send it in. Chloe's going to read it in upcoming episodes. It's going to be great. We're going to do a little bit of story time because I'm sure you guys have some pretty legendary stories from the comment section on the
segment
crew.
To offer since I don't know anything.
This is my offering.
This is all I have.
I've seen in our Facebook group, the Third Pedal Podcast crew, I've seen a lot of you guys share some pretty wild stuff. So I'd love to hear more about it. So yeah, submit it thirdpedalpodcast@gmail.com or comment here on Spotify, here on YouTube, wherever you guys are listening. We'd love to hear the stories.
Yeah. And then also like if there's anything you guys want us to talk about on the pod,
keep submitting it. We get a lot of messages from you guys.
Put a message on there and be like, you guys should talk about this.
Yeah.
Or
that can conclude this week's episode. Follow us on social media at Third Pedal Podcast. Email your stories, thirdpedalpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us here on Spotify, on YouTube, all that jazz. We love you guys. Thanks for hanging in there. And what's the sign off for this week? What are we going to do?
This has been Third Pedal Podcast. remember to tell your mom you love her.
Drive fast and take chances, everybody.
Take chances.
Take chances.
Take chances, everybody. Take chances.